This is TAC Talk, Teens Advancing Conversations.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to today's episode of TAC Talk. Today's guest is Justin Horton, a former NFL player for the Jacksonville Jaguars. So could you just tell us how many years have you been playing football for?
In total, I played football for 22 years.
22 years? So like what age about?
I started playing when I was 10.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to play since I was like 4.
Mm-hmm.
I was a very large child. So when I was in kindergarten, I would have had to play with like second graders, and my mother did not like that. So I had to wait a little while.
Yeah.
And I started when I was 10. So I got to the league when I was 23. And I played for 4 years after that. So my math may be a little off, but about that.
Yeah.
Our second question would be, what was your experience like in high school?
My high school experience was fantastic. I went to Eastridge High School. My family and I moved here when I was 6, so 2001. Eastridge opened in 2002. And Coach O, I believe, was the head coach immediately. So he was very predominant for our program. Very, like, I don't even know how to begin to describe like what he meant to us and to the community and to that program. But, you know, all of that started when I was fairly young. So we came up kind of wanting to go to Eastridge and wanted to contribute and wanted to play and wanted to win, kind of leave a mark, you know, in our time there. So I was foaming at the mouth to get to Eastridge by the time my time came around. So, yeah, it was for us. We ended up being I think we tied with like the 017 for the deepest playoff run. In my opinion, we had the best defense ever walked them halls. So we did very well with what we did, and I'm proud to have been a part of that. So it was very meaningful to all of us. We're all still friends. We're all still very close. So
Was it a difficult decision for you to choose to move so far away for college?
no, I thought that was kind of close.
Oh.
Jackson, I thought that, you know, I could have went a little bit farther, but Jacksonville was a blessing, and you know, in many different ways. But at first, like trying to choose what school I wanted to go to, like having a friend, because Andy Jones, my friend that played with me at Eastridge, we grown up together. And I've known him just as long as I've been here. So to have somebody that I went to school with since elementary school, pretty much, and you know, we walked through, you know, to higher education together, that was comforting. And to have, you know, our friends and family still here, still relatively close, like that was very good too. But yeah, I could have went farther.
Where did you go to college and why did you choose?
I went to Jacksonville University. My recruitment at the time was rough. So one thing I will say is that some of my experience in high school, like with recruiting, because, you know, I'm from at that time an even smaller town, and we didn't get a lot of traction this way, and we're right next to Orlando, and we didn't really have a lot of resources in terms of training and recruiting and stuff like that. So it was just difficult at times, but I was fortunate enough to be able to do well enough my junior year, like between my sophomore and my junior year, to get some attention going and to start to get some coaches and things like that there. But for whatever reason, not a lot of stuff stuck then. Like I had a lot of interest, but not really a lot of offers. And I had a few trickle in, but like I said, nothing really stuck. So after a while, I was just kind of sitting with nothing. When JU came along, and I had known how they were, you know, dealing with my friend Andy and stuff like that. Like it was a pretty easy decision. I would say I was kind of panicked and, you know, scared. I didn't know what was going to happen, but in hindsight, it was a good decision to end up going there. And like I said, to be close. It's a good education that I got there, but ultimately the people that I met there were the thing that I walked away with that has the most value. So well worth it.
Yeah. And how was dealing with, you know, the academic part of college with the sports schedule part of it?
Yeah, it was hard. There was sometimes, like, you know, we looked at regular students like, yeah, y'all got it made. And But again, it's a tough experience that brought a lot of value because you have to figure out how to manage your time. You have to figure out how to manage the relationships, the people that you're going to be around every day, your workload. You got to get in a good little system of not only taking care of yourself, but handling your business. Like practice is mandatory, schoolwork is mandatory, and some gaps of time between, those mandatory things are the total sum of 30 minutes throughout your day. And you got to get homework done or you have to do something. So the challenges and the ebbs and flows of that were wonderful. But while I was in it, no, I didn't like it at all. It was tough. But a lot of things that, I was able to accomplish just to graduate and fortunate enough for myself, like to be blessed enough to move to the next level. The things that I had to do are similar things that I have to kind of carry with me now to figure out some of the stuff that I want to do now. So that to digress, it was hard.
Yeah.
Going back to the college level, like when you got there, would you say, from what you know now, would you say it would be easier to get to like the college level?
You mean like
from Claremont?
Oh, no, I don't think so. I think that with how things are structured now, I think that, if Claremont was here, right, in terms of recruiting and attention, and Orlando is here, because of how the game is set up now with, Twitter and everything that makes, social media a factor and the 7-on-7 camps a factor. If this is how things were before, Orlando bumped up, Claremont bumped up, but we're still, that's a major city. We're never going to be able to compete on the level that they can. What I've seen coming back into Claremont at times and just noticing what's going on is, we try to keep up generally at the schools that we're at in that school. Everybody has to do what they have to do, but I take it as a responsibility, like my friends take it as a responsibility to bring a quality of training here to people like myself and Andy Jones and Logan and Evo come back to give you guys that, so that it doesn't matter where you go when you get the opportunity to show up and get your name out there, like you pop, and then the attention does come back to us. Because that's what we had to do, but it wasn't retained because the game ended up changing, within the time that a few years, because it's been 11 years since we left. So it's just a learning curve that Claremont, naturally has to go through.
Do you have any tips for athletes that they can do specifically to get their name out there?
Lou, yeah, I say personally, okay, I can answer it like this. There's two different ways. If you, are going to play the game, and not the game of football, but just play the game of recruiting, do what you have to do. Make sure you show up to camps consistently, but I wouldn't say let going to camps and showcases overshadow your training for real. Because no matter what way you shake it, the film is what is ultimately going to lead to your opportunity, the way that you play. But if you would like to go out there and accrue some type of attention, you can't. Because like me, myself, I had to do so. And I wasn't really comfortable with it. But, go to the combines, go to the camps, show up and just play. And, my dad used to say, you never know who's watching. Opportunities can always be created. So that's my answer for real. Personally, I could give a hoot nanny about all that attention. Because as soon as you go out in the field and strap it up or do whatever you're about to do, it will be known. The work that you put in is what, equates to what happens to you as far as all that goes. Because that's ultimately what I learned in my career. The more, as Conor McGregor says, obsessive that you get with it, the more that it gives back to you. So, when I was here in Claremont in my career, I could say that was the least that I was giving to the game. I went through some things. I saw some things. I saw how close I can get to getting to the league. And my workload increased. My chances of getting there were solidified. I would say at some point when I was walking into my senior year to play, looking back at it now, I was going to the NFL because of the work that I had put in to get to that point. My friend Andy, if you turn on his film, at some point. Personally, for me, his junior year when he was in college, he was ready to go to the NFL because of the work that, you know, we put in going up and down that road right back there, going to train and stuff like that. So that's really what my answer is. Go work. Forget about all that stuff. Go figure out what your weaknesses are. Work on those. Strengthen your strengths some more. Walk into your next season prepared to go and do something. You should never mind ever worried about my opponent. And that's, you know, in life, period. I ain't ever worried about what mountain that I have to climb. Do I have everything to climb? Do I understand what I'm about to do? And, you know, do I have the commitment and the fortitude to go forward and walk that path? So all that other stuff really don't matter to me.
Yeah.
But sometimes you got to pay attention, and I understand some people don't think like that sometimes. So teach us something.